These are the three main settings that you need to know if you own a camera: shutter speed, ISO, aperture. These three settings make up the exposure triangle, which means that you basically need to balance these three settings to get the right exposure for the situation that you're shooting in. Now, what the hell do these settings actually do? So first, let's talk about shutter speed. The shutter is this thing, and the shutter speed is how fast this opens and closes. Each time it opens, it lets light in, which in the end becomes the photo that you see. The quicker it opens and closes, aka the higher the shutter speed, the more sharp and crisp your image will be, but you'll be sacrificing brightness, as the higher you set it, there is less time for the light to get into the camera, so the image will become darker. Hence, balance your settings, as each one will have a different effect on the exposure of your image. Now onto ISO. ISO is your camera's sensitivity to light. Turning this up will brighten your image, but will also create noise or grain, because it is basically amplifying the light in the image, and it can only do this so much. So it's great in low light areas, but if it's too dark and you're trying to brighten it, your image won't look very good. Low ISO equals less grain, so don't crank it up too much. So now onto aperture. In your camera, this is the aperture, and this setting is also called f.stop, and changing this will either bring more things into focus or less. This is the depth of field. Lower aperture means less things in focus but a brighter image, and as you lower the aperture setting, more light is able to pass into the camera as the aperture physically widens and narrows as the settings change, and vice versa. If you want more things brought into focus or your image darker, use a higher aperture. The aperture is in the lens of your camera, so each aperture may differ from one another. If you want more camera basics covered in this speedy fashion, comment down below. Thanks for watching, I hope you guys learned something, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace!